Morning and welcome back to Hammond's Upholstery. New camera, new microphone. Hopefully you can hear me and see me okay. Anyway, let's take a quick walk through and show you what we're on with today. Okay, ignore the dog bed. Ignore the dog bed. Put that outside ready for him. If he comes out of the van, he's having a nap. Right, so cushions, more cushions. Those are replacement fills for a customer. These are cushion fills that need cutting. That's a bar stool that needs the seat addressing. That little dining chair goes with more cushions that are around here. I'm waiting for the fills. They should be in today. We've got a window seat to make there. We've got some gym stools that we need to be getting on with. I'm getting on with them now, actually. They're on the way. A couple of bar stools and footstool to be done in the grey fabric that's on them. This is a template for 2 sofas. That sofa's having, instead of 2 individual seat cushions, it's having 1 big seat cushion in each sofa. We've then got some outside furniture. We're making new pads for that and backs. As you can tell, the trend is a lot of bits and pieces. We're not seeing a lot of recovering in sofas, but this is the one this video is mainly going to be about. It's this or pair of salon chairs here that have been recovered. The cover's not damaged. If I'm honest with you, not entirely sure why the customer's having them redone, but she is. If I'm honest, the first one did look a little bit more worn than this, and maybe she just wants to keep the continuity across the pair of chairs, so they are being redone. The covers are cut here and sewn up, so that should be a relatively straightforward one for you to join me with and see what's going on. So here we go. So that's the plan of action. So this episode's going to be the salon chairs, hairdressing salon, dining chairs, or dining chairs. I don't know what you call them. The salon chairs, I suppose. Hairdresser chairs. Anyway, so kettle's going on. Excuse me, I'll get a sneeze. Hay fever season. Kettle's going on. Cup of tea, and you can join me when I get on with these chairs. So we'll be back relatively shortly. Okay, so here we have the salon chair. It's in 2 bits now. We've got the base off of it down here. It's just 4 fixings. As you can see here, it's got a slight angle. I don't know if you can see that from vertical, so it rakes towards the back of the chair. So here we have this. I need to turn this up to get the tub off of it. Okay, just 4 screws around it. 2 I've already taken out. There's 1, 2 there. Take that tub off and then take the back off, which is fixed on by those 2 Allen keys there. The back comes off. So let's get it into its parts and start ripping it up. Straightforward enough. I've done one previously, so hence the reason why all the covers are cut for this one. got to be careful when putting these screws back in not to over tighten them, because I could damage this plastic tub. There you go, one plastic tub. Let's put this down out the way. Won't be needing that again at the moment. So, got two fixing bolts which attach and hold the back on. So, they're my next job. If I remember rightly, I think they're a 10mm bolt. Yeah. And an Allen key to suit would be nice. That's the one. I'm just going to mark the hinges so I know which is the right way up on the hinges. It should be self-explanatory, but you know, for the sake of marking it, I know that it's going to be right. Oh, there. Why they didn't use a captive nut, I don't know, for this. Then the back itself would be serviceable without having to remove the tub. There you go. It's a bit tricky to get the Allen key in there whilst also holding the screwdriver on. Doing this a bit blind. Again, be a lot easier if it had a captive nut, T-nut, as we call them here. Dropped one washer. Let's see if I can keep hold of this one. Okay. There we have it. Bit of a weird setup with these adjustable hinges. I'm not entirely sure what they do. Maybe a hairdresser would know. There are some spaces here to go through the seat base platform, like so. Hopefully you can see them okay. So we don't want to lose them. So the back is relatively easy to simple to rip up because it's got a zip on it. So when I can get my fingers to the zip. There you go. Unzip that and that back cover comes off. So one old cover that can go in the rubbish. Strip the back off now. So let me show you what's going on here with the back, or the tub itself. So it's stapled all the way around in this recess. Straightforward enough, but we have to heat the vinyl up to get it to come around here nice and cleanly. So strip that off, then the inside of the tub here, let's stand this up. This is bonded, or the vinyl is bonded to the foam along these edges, just to hold it into place. So I'll get that ripped up, come back to you when the cover's removed so you can see what we're dealing with then. So back very soon. All unpicked and the cover comes off. It was just glued on these three edges here, so we need to recreate that with the new cover. In the greatest tradition of Blue Peter, here's one I prepared earlier. So we'll lay it in, get the welts where I want it to be. Okay. So I've got that laid into position, checked out, I'm happy with that. Peel it back. Let's try turning this around so you haven't got me back to you so much. Perhaps we need to elevate you a little bit. Not sure. This camera moved. Hopefully you can see a bit better what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to put a little glue along the back edge here. Glue on the fabric. Lay that back in. Same with the sides. So I'm not doing anything different to what the manufacturers did. We want the continuity so the customer knows what to expect coming back to them. And they may have other chairs that it needs to match. So that's holding the tension in the seat, and now we can put a little bit of glue on the uprights. Like so. There you go, happy with that. Oh, it's fallen over. Right. Okay, sorry about that, just had a delivery. We've now got, well, a lot of cushions in here. So, anyway, on with this. Need to get this done and back to the customer. So first pull, we're going to pull a bit of tension in over the top here on this join, but that joins the back and the arm together. Now I'm going to put a couple of temporary staples in there. Let's just hold it. I can take them out and put them in that recess when I turn it upside down. Okay. Same with the front of the arm. Ease in the vinyl. I'll show you on this arm, you can see better. Ease in the vinyl towards the front and over. We're just going to have a couple of temporary staples again there. Just hold it into position. I can staple it off when it's upside down. It's going to need a little bit of heat as well to get it round that arm. Now I've got the seam on the front of the seat here, this seam here. I'll show you better on this side, okay? And it's cut to come round here. Okay, that's going to be fine. I can do that upside down. So let's turn it upside down. Make sure our pads are clean. We don't want to be damaging anything. Okay. So there's a lot of foam here where they've just stapled through. I'm not happy with that. It's going to create all sorts of lumps and bumps, so I'm going to trim that off, which is what the original manufacturers were too lazy to do. There we go. There we go, I can get that in there far better now. So just pulling the fabric over. All the fabric is in position. We've done that earlier. So I can just infill this. Right, so now we're on with the finishing off around the back and the sides. So just give the fabric, roll my knuckles over it, bit of a pull in the centre. Before I get too far, check as I go. It's coming out nice and clean. Working my way from the centre out towards the corners, pulling the fabric as I go. Not so tight that the staples are firing straight through the vinyl. We don't want that. So now I'm going to start with this front edge. I'm going to need to just get a bit of heat on that. It'll make life a bit easier to get the vinyl to lay flat. Nothing special as heat guns go. You could do it with a hairdryer if you really had to. A little bit of heat on the inside of the arm. Again, starting staple at the centre and then working my way. Going to have to put a little pleat in the corner here. So trim out some of the vinyl. Want to avoid having too much of a lump there. So you have to be prepared to take a staple out now and again. Okay, so these temporary staples that are put in here can come out now. Let's just move it in better position. There you go. Now I'm going to do this the same as I've done the other ones. or the other one. So we have a pleat across here. So a bit of heat on there. Not just going to use the gun to hold it, because so you need to lay the vinyl into the groove, then staple it. If you try and just use the tip of the gun to do that, there's a good chance that you're going to damage the vinyl, or at least fire a staple through the vinyl, which then weakens it. So it's the pleats here, you can just about see that there. So that's laying in there naturally now. So we're just going to give this a bit of heat. A bit of that out, it's creating a bit of a unnecessary lump there. There you go. Lots of little pleats on the underside, because they're not going to be seen once the tub goes on. Okay, that's that front edge done. Let's spin it around so you can see me do the back corner. So again, we're stapled in the middle and we're working way to the back corner. The only difference, we've got these two staples here, which I can now take out. They were just temporary to hold the fabric in place. Again, pushing the vinyl into the recess before I staple it. Little bit of heat just to make it a bit more pliable. Don't want to get it that hot that you're melting or damaging the vinyl. You can overheat it, burn it as such. It does damage it. So if it's too hot to touch, then yeah, you've gone too far. You're just warming it up. You could get the same effect if you're in a hot climate by putting it out in the sun for 10 minutes. Round to the next side. Do the front edge again. Process is exactly the same. I'm going to heat this up a little bit in the middle, around the front of the arm. Get these pleats out. My way up to the top, or the bottom as it is, just because it's upside down. Again, just going to pop these staples out here. You want a nice sharp knife whenever you're doing upholstery. I've said it before, I will say it again. A sharp knife you're less likely to hurt yourself with than a blunt one. A little bit of heat on that. Just gets everything to fold better. Okay. Right, back to the front edge. So I'm going to put bits of heat on it and I can get this part done. You could do it without heating it up. I've no doubt the original upholsterers did it without getting heat on it, because I could tell that because the amount of vinyl and lumps and bumps they had in it. I can just get a nicer finish if it's the vinyl supple. There are plenty of different types of vinyls on the market as well though. You can get some with 4-way stretch, which are very stretchy. You can use them on the likes of egg chairs or very curved shapes, and you can pretty much get the vinyl wrapped around anything. This isn't a 4-way stretch. It's a nice vinyl. It's a good quality vinyl because when I'm heating it up it's not falling to bits or breaking up. That pleat in the corner, yeah, I can cut some of that out. Don't want too much underneath the pleat, it creates lumps and bumps, and the more stuff I put in this recess it can potentially cause issues with the tub going back on properly, so we want to keep it nice and clean, that recess. looking forward to dealing with all these cushions that have just come in. I'll get this done, and then I've got to start making some phone calls, get them collected. Okay, spin this round so you can see me doing the back. Again, the back, I need to take the temporary staples out. A little bit of heat. So a few more staples, and then that's the back on. The next job is to cover or cut off the salvage on this, and then cover the back pad and reattach it to this frame before I can put the tub back on. But as you've seen, that was just a cushion. That should be straightforward. So look, I'll trim that up in a second. You don't really need to watch me with my back to you. Let's show you the inside of it done. So there's the inside, cut them off. The holes for the mounts for the back will be cut once I've got the back covered, and I can just mark these holes and cut a little hole in there and attach the back. So that's pretty much upholstery done on this back. I just need to put that cover on the back, but it's just a slip-on cover like you see me remove. So I'll do that, get this assembled, and I can show you it before I put the tub on. So I'll be back very shortly. Okay, so there we have it, just about in shot there, all done, ready to go. I'm not entirely sure what the deal is with this back. All it seems to do is that. I'm not sure. Maybe it was just an option on there that wasn't added. So I just need to turn it over and put the tub on it, and then it can go on the base. I'm not going to assemble it on the base here. Just simply because I've got to get it into the property, and that's a bit awkward, and it's a heavy item when it's on its base. So I'll take it to the customers in two parts, but I'll rest it on the base so you can get an idea of what it looks like. So let me turn this over, and we'll get the tub on it. So the tub is just attached with these 4 screws. I am going to put a washer on these because I am frightened that it's going to snap or damage the tub. So if I put some washers on it, it'll just spread that over a bigger area. So straightforward penny washers that screws aren't going to go through. If you get carried away, you could easily break this tub, I think. I don't want to be jinxing it, having said that. Just going to put them in. I'm not going to nip them up just yet until I've got this tub sitting nicely in the recess. All the way round. Okay. There it is back in the tub. I'll go and rest it on the action if I can, and you can have a look at what that looks like then. So there you have it, done on the action. It's just resting on the action. When I took the last one back, we noticed, well, I noticed when I disassembled them that they'd been modified. Now, I spoke to the customer about this and she said she hadn't modified it, so it came to the factory like it. But you can see there's quite a rake on that seating as it is. And they'd modified it by putting a couple of spaces on the back mount to reduce that rake. So I think it's personal preference, isn't it? The customer's asked to have the spaces put back on so the seats are flat rather than have a rake on them again. But there you go, I'm not sure. But she's used to having them with a flat seat. So there you go. That's that done. There you go. That's that done. So get that delivered first thing in the morning. That's me done for the day. That's this episode done. We've done barber's chairs. Now we've got the salon chairs to add to our list. These are very simple ones though, admittedly, but I'm not complaining about that. I'll try and get a picture of them in the customer's salon tomorrow and post this at the end of this video so you can see what it looks like in situ. But as always, this is not meant to be instructional. I'm not trying to tell you how to do it. It's just how we do it, or how I do it here at Hammond's Upholstery. I hope you like and enjoy these videos. Hopefully I've now got to work out how to use my new editing suite with this camera and microphone, so bear with me. Hopefully we get a better product and people can hear me, which more importantly, that's been a major gripe. So I'll get this done. Please like and subscribe, and I'll keep putting the content out there. Thanks again. Bye. Bye-bye.